Welcome back to Seen It Before. We're probably going to say something stupid about your favorite movie because we've seen it all before. I'm Danny.
Please stand by.
I'm back under no control of my own here. Let's just get over this.
Wait, you're saying like I kidnapped you?
Yeah.
You're full, like I have a gun to your head?
Prisoner. You took my keys.
I took you. Where would I put them? Up your ass.
Up your own ass.
Me and Chris have this thing where we do like voices for like COD. And we,
I know.
Well, yeah, we have the Forrest Gump in 2020 thing where it's like they was really mad, and then and then we have Makarov, but like we don't know how to do a Russian accent, so we just say, "Yeah, stick a finger in his ass."
I think we have pretty much the same opinion on this movie, even though I am downplaying it really hard and how much I didn't like parts of this movie.
Why don't you go fuck yourself?
No, I'm not saying it's a bad movie.
I'm just joking.
I'm not at all. But
No, it's not a perfect movie by any means, but it's I liked it a lot.
It already almost made back its budget in the first weekend alone. So $291 million budget.
Fucking crazy, dude.
$235 million it made this past weekend worldwide. That's wild.
What the like? It's just even funnier because like in an era like right now, Little Mermaid flopped, Indiana Jones flopped, Flash flopped. These giant movies that were supposed to at least make their budget back.
Steven Spielberg said this 10 years ago. Shit like this happens.
Yeah,
it's gonna kill the industry.
It's sad to see one of his properties be a part of it, but like, you know, I think I'm so glad that like audiences seem to be wising up to like Disney specifically is gonna shovel you trash, and then people like Tom Cruise, who I've said countless times, cares about the audience. That's his thing, bro.
Here we go.
Okay. Anyway.
You gonna get on your Tom Cruise soapbox the whole time here today?
I'm just saying he
does put out bangers. He does put out bangers.
Speaking about the movies, bangers.
And that's all we're gonna talk about. So just the movies. If they make the stunt category, Mission Impossible and John Wick 4, the top of that list to be nominated easily.
So, are there any like award, like where would you know that award or that shot in John Wick 4 where like it's above the thing, it's one continuous shot?
Yeah.
Where does that more cinematography or directing, or is it like more coordination?
That's cinematography mixed with stunts, obviously, but I think it's mainly cinematography. I would say
because I think that deserves a little like honorable mention, and I don't think. Like, they're probably not going to win for cinematography because there's probably been a lot of other great...
Dude, that movie looks so good, though.
Honestly? Are animated movies included in the cinematography? Because I think Spider-Verse could qualify.
Nah, it's just going to get best animated movie.
Yeah.
And maybe a writing thing. It might get best screenplay. It might get something like that.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, this is a very
long intro.
This is a very long intro, and we're going to cut this right now. So let's get right to it.
So, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 has just released to the theaters, and like we said in the intro...
A week ago.
A week ago?
About a week ago.
Okay, that was a 2015 meme. It is dead. Anyway, this movie's up front. I love that it's up front and like that it's like this is a Part 1 movie. We don't get that anymore. It's always like It Chapter 1. We didn't know. It was titled It before the end of the movie. Like when
we
you watch
knew
the
it was
movie.
going to be a two-part.
I didn't know that.
You
I didn't know
the original miniseries back from the 90s?
No, fuck that.
The Tim Curry one?
I didn't watch it. I watched it after the fact. I'm like, It Chapter 1 is way better.
Well, yeah, but like for the 90s as a TV miniseries, that's pretty fucking good. Yeah. All right.
Anyway, Dune, we thought like that like it's the way the movie is structured. I love structure.
You haven't brought this up in a while, actually. So I'll let you go with it.
But like, you know what I mean? So like, it just ends. Same thing with Spider-Verse. It just ends. Multiple times we thought.
God.
You know what I mean? That's the kind of like the only thing bringing that movie down. But this one is like Harry Potter Part 1, or it's the Deathly Hallows Part 1. Yep. Like it's like up front. This is going to be a 2-part story. We're going to end on sort of a cliffhanger, and I'm so glad that we're kind of getting back to that because it's like I don't like feeling lied to.
In Infinity War 2 and Endgame, we knew that was going to be a 2-parter as well, and that was.
See, the thing is though, it's like general audiences. You know what I mean? Like it was going to be Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2,
and then
they changed it halfway through. So like,
you should have expected though 2 Avengers movies in 2 years. Come on, you gotta expect that shit.
I don't know.
All right, so my little quick tidbit about this movie. So it's a great suspenseful thriller. It's goofy, has great character development in parts. They make the movie work, the characters. And Ethan wanted to protect his friends at all costs. It's great.
Yeah.
It's just a game of cat and mouse, though, like, for most of this movie, trying to find these keys. You know, it's I stole it, then you stole it, then she stole it. It's called capitalism. I knew, yeah.
Why'd you say that? I don't want to remember that one line either. Like,
Yeah. It's, am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong. Because part of that key kept getting stolen 3 different times. And they're like,
yeah, well,
I
there's a few things. Yeah, it was hard to like follow who had what at a certain time, but at the same time though, it almost made it easier to follow, to remember where we were in the movie.
No, I agree.
I'm thinking, oh, they stole it here. That's at this part of the movie. So like it was easy. You can write all my, like, I got a shit ton of notes for this, so it's like easy to see, to remember where we're going. And I think that's gonna work out for it in the long run.
Exactly. All right, let's get into the nitty gritty of this movie now.
Yeah.
So we're starting off the 25-minute cold open. Really long cold open. Starting with the submarine and everything underneath the ice in like where Antarctica, somewhere in like an Arctic area. We don't know where exactly.
Yeah, some sort of Russian sub.
But yeah, so they see this. There's all this like big AI, looking machine thing that's in the bottom of this vessel, right?
It's in the sub.
Yes, it's in the sub.
So yeah, that's the whole thing where like I'm confused a little bit. When I was watching it, I was like confused. Like, is this like a separate ship that is like in the water, and like it's obviously an AI thing fucking with them.
Yes.
It's like, oh, then the ship just disappeared, and the tools never lie to us. But like that's cool.
Yes, that's a very cool cold open. Mainly, yeah, as you said, because it made it seem like there was another ship in their vicinity. And then it disappeared after they shot a rocket.
It's crazy how like you don't. I mean, maybe it has happened, but it's like actual like missions like this, like with like.
We'll never know.
Yeah, I imagine we wouldn't. It would be classified or whatever. But like, that had to have been like a thing, right? When like technology, like this new technology for like detecting subs and shit, like sonar, was like improved like over time. There's got to be some people fucking with it, like hacking into their system and making them fire on themselves or something like that. Or
I mean, I'm sure it's a form of warfare, like an advanced warfare type of thing, but there's no way we're ever gonna know unless we were actually, in special forces and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
maybe Ethan Hunt knows. Or Tom Cruise.
So speaking of Ethan Hunt, this is still the cold open, right? Where the Ethan Hunt looking for Ilsa thing, that was still the cold open, correct? I think it was.
I forget. I walked in the middle of that opening scene before it got.
Bro, you got to stop.
I was here, and I'm like, it was going to the theater.
Right over here.
Yeah, right over. Yeah, and then so I'm like, oh, it's only 15 minutes away. But I kept thinking the movie's at 3:15, but the movie's at 3. Bro. So I'm thinking, oh, I have till 3:30 because 15 minutes for commercials. So no, I showed up. So at like 3:05, I was like, fuck, and then so I ran over there. So yeah, so I missed all the previews, but I walked in like maybe 2 minutes into the movie.
There's some good previews in mine. Some really good ones. Anyway,
but yeah, right off the bat, this seems like a more serious. It just feels different from like your average Mission Impossible movie. It's like maybe it's the score, maybe it's like the.
Let's preface this. I've only seen the first one and Ghost Protocol. Those are the only Mission Impossible movies I've seen, and then this new one.
So those ones, like especially Ghost Protocol, that just seems like a just normal day. Like Ethan's just like he's in prison, and he's like, yeah, I'm just hanging out and stuff, and like the team rescues him. And, oh, we got this terrorist guy coming.
Yeah.
It's just another Mission Impossible movie. This one feels different right off the bat. Maybe it's because I know that it's a part 1 and I know it's a bigger story. Or I think it had a lot to do with the score, because the score felt more granular. I don't know.
Okay.
And then also like Ilsa feeling like being like kind of like like it's like they're reuniting again, but it's not like she showed like in Fallout. She just kind of showed, you didn't see it, but she shows up like
she fell out.
She shows up halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
So it's like she just kind of shows up like, oh, she's also on a different mission. But no, this one's more like Ethan's going to find her and stuff, and like she, he thinks she's dead, and like you don't really know anything about Ilsa then, do you? Because she's in 5 and 6. Yeah, when he accepts his mission, which is also another scene I want to talk about. They say like the mission that led you into the IMF.
Yeah, was that ever a thing before, or is this specifically?
No, this is brand new. We have no idea. In the first one, he's just kind of part of the. He's just a
I just
guy.
couldn't remember if that was the second one or anything. I didn't know if there's like a flashback part in that. Okay.
So I have no idea who that girl he kills in the beginning, and I didn't know that they have a history. And it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, because they were going to make a whole big sequence of that taking place in 1989 with, de-aged Tom Cruise, which, yeah, because you could do that, I guess.
They de-aged him?
Yeah, they were
I thought they just used a double.
No. They were going to. They talked about it as the cold open. They never did it because they got distracted. It would have been distracting to have Tom Cruise looking younger and everything. They didn't want to detract from the story.
That's ironic.
I know, right?
Considering last week's episode.
Yeah.
Where they have a whole 20-minute intro with a de-aged actor.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. But yes. I was in San Diego. I got a tan, baby. Anyway.
Yeah, you are tan today.
Fucking tan. Anyway. And also sunburnt on my feet. Yeah.
I'm just gonna say
it wasn't even San Diego. I was in Long Island.
Anyway, so I like this little scene where he's training, or he's kind of giving tips to this guy that's
Yes.
he's like, what's your name? He's like, well, you haven't asked me the code word or some shit or whatever. Gives his code name and he says, do you choose to accept it? All that stuff.
That was the part of the cold open. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, because they always have to start off with
then
the
the
mission.
Ilsa scene was right after the cold open. Got it.
Right.
All right.
I like this. They're kind of bringing back because you haven't seen 3. Fuck.
Nope.
In 3, he's training, or he's like kind of the mentor to Carrie Russell.
That was the first one with Simon Pegg, right? 3.
Yeah, he's only in there for like maybe 5 minutes.
Okay.
Because it was J.J. Abrams and they're friends and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That one he trained. He ended up. He was the. He was his only student he approved for the field duty was Carrie Russell. And then on like one of her missions, she gets caught by the villain of the movie, and then it's a really heartbreaking scene, honestly, because it's like she has this thing that's going to blow up in her head, like a little detonator or whatever. His plan is like as he grabs her and they escape in the helicopter, he has to kill her with the AED. So it fries the thing in her brain and then bring her back.
Jeez.
Back again. Bring her back. That's why I wear the headphones.
Yes.
I can hear that it went out.
Good for you.
He's gonna bring her back with the paddles again.
Yeah.
And so she's like, I forgot how it was. She's like, I'm gonna zap you, and she's like, wait, Ethan, thank you for saving me. He's like, yeah, no problem. And then as he's like saying, yeah, what? And then she dies.
So kind of like Black Bolt in Multiverse of Madness type of thing, where his head just kind of like implodes and his eye just like
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's not even that graphic.
Not
It's
that
just
graphic,
like her eye
obviously,
just goes that way.
Yeah, okay.
So, but his whole thing was like he failed his student. And I like how they're bringing that back now because he's still kind of giving tips to the new guys, and obviously in this movie, Haley Atwell, he's sort of quasi training her through the movie. Like he's like, you need to do this, you need to do that, and giving her tips and stuff. So I like that they're bringing that back. I like that aspect of Ethan.
Yeah. All right.
That was a long way of explaining that.
Carriage. So
Yeah, he's back from the first one.
He's back in the
This
first
is the
one.
first reappearance of him because he's just left the movies.
He's
since
been
then.
wherever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's a meeting with Kittredge and a few other officials and all that stuff.
Yeah,
And this
the community, I think they called him.
Yes, and then there's this random
Carrie
dude
Ellis.
who's looking like sketchy as hell in the corner. He walks in late.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, this dude's totally a terrorist.
Yeah, he's the absolute terrorist. And it's Tom Cruise.
Oh, they bring back the mask
they
because
bring
they
back the
didn't really
mask.
do that in the last ones.
Yeah, so
which
that-
was like the whole thing for like a while.
It was a really cool thing, though. It was a nice scene.
I love like their relationship because it's like Kittredge is sort of looking out for himself, but he knows Ethan's a good asset for his job and keeping the world safe and stuff. But it's like at the same time he's like a total dick. They hate each other and they're dicks to each other. So it's like it's nice to see like it's like Ethan. And also in that scene, I'm not sure if you can see his eye was twitching so fucking hard.
I wasn't noticing.
It was like whenever you talk, we just go like this. Like you could see like a vein popping.
Okay.
But he's like, you could maybe it's just like a thing that he has. I doubt that they made it look that way. But it's like he looked on edge. Ethan looked very confident because he's fucking Tom Cruise. And the whole scene really worked because he's like, you're gonna fail, Ethan. You're gonna fail. This is something different. And then Tom Cruise is like, I'm Ethan fucking Hunt, so
So fuck you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, he gets the lowdown. It's like it's AI.
He gets
and
the
shit.
lowdown, and then he gets the intel that he has to go to the airport, right? I believe.
Yeah,
or
because
am I skipping over something?
Well, they figured out that for some reason, somehow one of the keys, or is it both? No, one of the keys. They're on the random people.
Yeah, they got separated.
Yeah.
So one of them is on its way to the airport, or it's in a briefcase in the airport, or something like that.
It's in this guy's pocket because Haley Atwell pickpockets him at the thing.
Yeah, but I think they originally thought it was in a briefcase, though. That's how that briefcase thing came into play. Or was it always
Briefcase thing. I know there's a suspicious bag
the
that's sort of like
bomb?
no, that was something that Gabriel put.
That
on
was
the
just
plane.
something separate. Okay.
Which also I'm a little confused about that too because it's like
right. Well, let's get to the scene
Yeah.
first. Ethan has to get the key. Benji and Luther are there, so they're helping him, do recon and everything in the airport.
the guys in the chair.
The guy's in the chair.
Which is kind of funny because it's like I feel bad for Ving Rhames because it's like he started off as the guy in the chair. He was the computer dude, and then Benji comes in because he's like I mean, Ving Rhames is like the complete opposite of what you think like a hacker would be.
Yeah.
Which I think is funny. But like Simon Pegg fits that bill more.
I wouldn't even picture that. So
Simon Pegg?
Simon Pegg is that, but
Really, a pasty white guy is skinny and
I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, so he runs into Haley Atwell, her character Grace.
Which is that even her name?
We don't know.
She's like, let's say it's Grace.
She's very, she keeps to herself. She doesn't like let anyone in.
yeah.
She's very mysterious. That's the word I was looking for.
Which is kind of funny. So it's like, well, yeah. So I think it was kind of worked both ways because it's like she's obviously at the end of the movie she ends up being a part of the team.
Yeah. And
She doesn't have a life to go back to, really. So.
yeah, and I'm going to say this right now. She's the saving grace of this film.
Continue.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I had that written in my notes and I had to fit it in somewhere. She gets the key. Tom Cruise and her are kind of walking around, and then there's all the agents are coming in to try to surround them. It's a all against one type scenario. And then we see Gabriel. Just he like disappears.
He's just
multiple
hanging
times.
out and like
Yeah,
Yeah.
he disappears multiple times. Then Benji gets this thing where there's like a bomb, and Luther's trying to keep Ethan out of this bomb situation that could possibly go nuclear.
which I don't understand
Yeah.
why they do that. They said something where like it was because it might be the AI fucking with them because they know it's an AI and then
Yeah.
like it's gonna mess. It's gonna play around with pretend that they're different people and also there's a whole like little cat and mouse chase between. There's like these two like kind of regular cop guys or detectives or whatever that are Shea Wiggum. They're chasing after him and he's like, and they're using deep fake technology to put Ethan's face on other people.
That's really weird.
Which I thought was
It's weird.
that's exactly what would happen though if like you had this stuff and you needed to be covert, you would just make other people look
I
like
guess you don't need to explain it because it's like an action summer blockbuster. It's fine, but like if you're trying to make this a serious movie, you gotta kind of get into this a little more. If you're, I don't know, all this AI stuff kind of went secondary to me in this movie to Gabriel. I don't know why it very much did not.
Well, that's how he has the upper hand.
I know, but
on
like,
everything.
Yeah, this AI. Is
I
a bigger,
agree. I don't exactly understand what the AI is like.
like for part 2 and everything. Yeah,
It's throughout the movie. Like he doesn't have control over the AI because he's trying to get the key to control it.
yeah, but like that might not work. So like.
But like at the same time, the AI is protecting him, and they say like the chosen black angel or something like that.
I don't.
I'm like, well, why is he special? Like, what did he do? And who has control of the AI
very
now? And
ambiguous, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
I hope all these answers or these questions are answered later on because like I don't know. It worked in like J.J. Abrams did the same thing in MI3 where like the whole thing they're looking for is called the rabbit's foot.
But how did
No
Gabriel?
fucking idea what it is.
Yeah.
They never explain it. But it doesn't matter, but because it works.
Now Gabriel's the guy that killed this girl in that flashback, and he has reappeared after what 25 somewhat years, 30 years, whatever it happens to be in this movie's time frame.
I have no idea who she is.
Yeah, we have no idea who she is. We have no idea who Gabriel is, but we know he's the bad guy. But how did he just disappear? How did he just disappear in that one scene where Ethan takes his glasses off? He's just gone. What the fuck was that?
I don't know.
It just
Tom Cruise does the same thing in MI4. Like,
okay, well,
I think it's just that's something you just gotta let go. Like, it's just
all right.
super
Cool,
speed. I don't know.
Cool.
fucking
All right, just
super
make
spy
sure
shit.
because I did just say that about the other thing. So yeah, all right, fair. Grace betrays Ethan, and she's like,
back and forth
she's
with
out.
him, and I like the little cat and mouse
Yeah.
thing. You know,
So she gets the key, gets on a plane to Rome, and disappears. And Ethan is left like with all his agents chasing him, and eventually runs on the roof. I'm just like, okay, he just got up to the roof. He's running across the airport roof
Yeah.
somehow.
Also, I love how like right before that, because like he sees Gabriel or he sees a glimpse of him. He's like, and he doesn't even know for sure that it's Gabriel. But what he is sure of is that this mission is over. He is fucking terrified of this guy. And I love that because like you've never seen
No, that
Ethan
was
Hunt
very
be terrified.
well done. That's what I was talking about. One scene. That's what I was
Yeah.
talking about. But like it was very well done and very psychologically
Yeah, because
like,
it's
it's suspenseful. Yeah.
this guy did something so bad to him, and he
Scares Ethan.
Yeah, it scares Ethan. So I love when they do that because when you have a fearless character, now you have someone to be scared of. They just do it really well.
Yeah.
And but so then he tells Benji and Luther to not rendezvous. We are not meeting up again. With this
out,
mission,
just
yeah,
get
we're
out.
going away. So then this is
To
a cool little
protect his friends.
segue. It's a cool segue to get him to be on his own looking for Grace. And also back to the bomb
we don't
thing.
see it until he shows up in Rome. So
Well, yeah. Well, I'll get to that because I fucking love that scene. But back to the bomb thing, though. Benji diffuses it by using all these riddles and stuff.
Riddles, the AI is kind of like getting to know these people.
Right.
It's like, oh,
Like, oh, it's learning about these,
learning
you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just like that little thing, but like, also, why was it there? You know what I mean?
it's just like a MacGuffin.
It kind of seems like, but the thing is, it kind of just seems like Gabriel's like inserting himself into the whole situation. Grace is working for the White Widow. White Widow is working for Kittredge. Kittredge is either working for himself or Carrie Elways, who is working with Gabriel, or who wants to work with Gabriel.
I couldn't follow it all, so like
It was all, and then Ethan's just kind of a wrench thrown in all of this.
as usual,
Yeah, because he's a super spy.
super spy. So yeah, I learned everything. That's when everybody got out. So yeah, Rome. Now Grace shows up in Rome and she gets not arrested, but like taken to the police headquarters or whatever, and asked about the key. Right? Is it the key, or she asked about something else? Or
Oh no, she gets caught because of her passports.
right, her passports. Yeah.
And I thought so what she does is like she's like, "Can I see?" And I thought for a second I find out later she steals a paperclip, but I thought she swiped her thumb over her picture. She's like, "Ma'am, this isn't you in this picture." She's like, "Oh, are you sure?" And I thought she swiped.
That would have been funny
Swiped
as
it, and
hell.
so, like,
just a cutout.
I don't know. Like if she's like, "Are you sure?" Like and like it erases portions of the picture that make her that would turn it into her face.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it just wasn't that. It was just she just stole a paperclip. I'm like, oh, I'm thinking too far into this. You know?
Yeah. You're expecting way too much.
Then Ethan crashes the party.
He's the lawyer.
Yeah, he's the lawyer, and they just make their way to escape, and then but she ends up getting out of Ethan's hands and stealing a cop car, which I thought was awesome. And then he steals a really shitty police bike, and I thought how annoying it was with the big pole in the back of him. He's the driver with the fucking light. And,
Yeah.
And then they end up running into.
Yeah.
He catches up
Pom
to her.
Clementieff's character. Yeah.
Dude, I love her. I think they call her Paris.
Paris. Yes.
She was great too, and
fantastic.
she really didn't say any words. And she was great. Also,
she never really say anything as Mantis either, but she's still she's a facial actor. She does really well with that stuff.
they gave her just enough for her little mini arc that just enough scenes
Just
that
enough
that
to
was-
get by,
yeah.
and she's not dead yet. So the police car crashes, and all the agents show up and everything, and then they end up getting in the police car again, right? And Tom Cruise ends up handcuffing himself to her.
Right, and I love this little bit.
Yeah.
He handcuffs the wrong arm. He handcuffs his left.
He's supposed
arm
to be
her
driving.
right.
He's like, oh shit.
Yeah. So, but and it's like This is the part where I started to see, oh, Grace is just a normal citizen. She's just a pickpocket, and I'm thinking, oh, thank God, we're not going to have this super, completely just
Out of nowhere.
amazing, female character that can do everything better than Tom Cruise. And I'm like, oh, fucking finally. Like, she still can do stuff. It's just she's
not
not as
perfect.
amazing as what we've built up 6 movies for Tom Cruise's Ethan Hunt to be.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Ilsa was a different thing because like she was already an operative and she was, she had a very specific style, kind of like a Black Widow style when she's
set.
fighting.
Yeah.
So she was, and I loved Ilsa too. This movie, this franchise, it's weird that we have to kind of say this, but like this has good, strong female characters in it.
Yeah.
So, especially Grace, and we'll get to Ilsa in this movie, but because she eventually comes back. But then they had this whole. Also, sorry to kind of take over the conversation.
No, you're fine.
This whole car chase through Rome.
That's what I want to talk about anyway. So
It was this. They used. I'm pretty sure they used the same steps in Fast X.
probably, I mean, it's
'Cause
a very widely known place in Rome.
Yeah, but it's just funny. There's like 2 giant action movies, both take in 2023.
I mean-
take place in Rome on the same steps, and it's a car chase too.
Mission Impossible was supposed to come out last year, so I mean,
I don't know.
makes sense. But yes, they had to change cars into the yellow Fiat,
Yeah,
and then they rolled down these steps.
yeah. They go down the
and they end up in the wrong seat in the other seats, and
Yeah,
that
like,
was
wait a minute, this isn't-
hilarious.
yeah.
How the hell does that even happen? But I didn't even question it. I was like, this is great. I don't even care. That was
Yeah.
fantastic.
They're making Christopher McQuarrie is able to make this so entertaining, and like and it's I mean like because I literally I have a 1-to-1 comparison for this particular scene with Fast X, and that one I'm just kind of
Yeah, I didn't
they're just
see it,
doing weird acrobatics with cars that are completely unrealistic, but like
No,
a
yeah.
little tiny Fiat going at a high speed, flipping over on the steps, that's insane, but still kind of believable. You can see that kind of happening.
Yeah, I guess.
You know what I mean? And it's like,
And
and
then-
they had a little core. Like,
There's Paris
Aaron
coming
Rodgers-
in the big SWAT
Yeah,
truck
she's
behind
fucking,
them.
like she just jumps.
My God.
Yeah.
Legendary.
So just a great entertaining scene, and then we get kind of like Grace doesn't know what the fuck she wants to do, so she's just kind of going around in a circle and like burning out and doing donuts and stuff to because now they got police and on both sides, and plus they
He's
have
like,
Palm.
go.
Yeah. So he's like, just fucking, give me the wheel, and like they team up for a little bit, and they get she's got the pedals, he's got the steering wheel, and they badass scene where they go back. It's just so entertaining, and then they get another car.
And apparently, it's the way they filmed it. It actually makes sense with the roads and everything for Rome. And I'm just like,
Oh, they looked into that. Okay.
like people looked into that, and it actually makes sense the way they did it. So,
And there's
Good for
also
them.
just another thing is like obviously all these particular stunts are done for real because Tom Cruise is very adamant about that. Obviously,
crazy. Yes,
he's crazy. But then if you go to a scene like a car chase scene,
in Fast X.
Fast X or Indiana Jones, it's all green screen, all CGI.
Like they have models and everything, but like it's just not the same.
It doesn't feel as visceral, and like you're not actually there like I was with this one. And like it could look exactly the same, but there's just something about it that just this one just looks more real. I can't really explain it. I'm just more invested in this. Maybe it's because I know it's real. Maybe that.
I mean, yeah,
maybe you
it's
could
fair.
lie to me that Indiana Jones was filmed for real in the. I don't know,
Yeah, true.
but
So they eventually end up getting away in this car chase, and now they realize they talked about it at the lawyer's office, but Grace knows there's a party in Venice the next night, so they had to get to Venice to meet the person who's trying to buy the key, I believe, which ends up being the White Widow.
the White Widow.
So yeah, which
you don't know her.
I
from-
don't know if
she's
she's Fallout.
Yeah, she came from the last movie.
Vanessa Kirby, yeah.
And so she plays a really small role in that one too, because it's kind of like she flirts with Ethan, and she's like, "I'm a nuclear weapons buyer, and I'm just a buyer. I'm a middleman." Like, so, but she calls him John Lark.
John Locke.
No, Lark, because in the last one, he has to pretend to be this guy named John Lark, who's a terrorist buying.
I swear she said Locke multiple
She's got an
times.
accent. It's Lark. I've seen the movie.
I I saw the movie too, my
Look
dude.
look at in Fallout.
Oh, you're talking Fallout.
They literally say John Lark.
But I'm talking about in this movie.
Why would she call him Locke if his last name?
Dude, I don't
was
know.
Lark and,
I swear to God.
bro.
I swear to God.
Anyway,
That's just sticking out to me. I don't know why.
I like that little plot line is still like, oh, they just never resolved that. So like, it's kind of a joke now.
Yeah.
So I like that. It's like we're having continuity, and that was never the case with the Mission Impossible movies up until like 4.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And the AI put together this party, which is crazy by itself.
yeah,
Like, how did it
Yeah.
invited all these people to this one big place that probably is gajillion dollars to sell out.
yeah.
Like, it's a little unbelievable. Like, all right, whatever, we'll go with it.
I'm just so here's the thing. I like the cool like kind of midpoint reveal here, where they realize like they're having a conversation. Where's the key? What is the entity? Blah blah blah. And then obviously the whole thing is the entity. Like it's on all the computers. How did it get there? Can it hack?
Well, yeah, it's an AI that, dude, it can like hack a submarine and.
Well, because we find out later it was put in there by Cary Elwes and whoever he's working with. I think it's the U.S. intelligence.
I don't remember that.
But on a Russian sub. So I'm just a little confused on the logistics. They might have gone really fast with how it's explained in the movie. I might have missed it. But it's like a lot of this stuff is not exactly linking up. It's like, why would a U.S. intelligence director? You're sure he's probably making shady deals, which obviously he was in this movie. But why would he officially on paper give the AI that, or I guess he built it, or they built it and put it as a trial run in the submarine in the beginning?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm just confused.
I don't know. It's very loose, and it wasn't really. Maybe it was said, but we missed it, as you said. But that's another part of this.
I hope
I'm
it
just
gets an answer, because this is a part 1 of a part 2. So it's like this movie is fine knowing, or with the knowledge that we might get it later. You know what I mean? But the core of this movie is entertaining enough. Like it tells a complete-ish story. You know what I mean?
So now Gabriel is also at this party, and he's explaining to Ethan, it's like, you could choose one of these people to die, Ilsa or Grace.
Right.
And he knows, because the AI is like, he's like sleeping in a coffin with the AI looking over his face, so he can see all the different moves it's going to make that Ethan could possibly make. And I'm just like, okay, that's a little bit of a fucking stretch, but all right, we'll go with it.
Yeah, so like
it's just more suspense for this scene, because then it turns into a foot chase through the streets of Venice, and
right.
yeah. So I mean,
Which is another great scene. All these
Very
action
good
scenes are
scene.
so fucking good.
it's just
But-
another thing of Tom Cruise running.
So here's
as
the
usual.
thing, though. Like we said before, we don't know if Gabriel can control the AI.
No,
Right now,
he
we just
can't.
think they're two separate entities.
It's probably just using
So-
Gabriel. That's what I assume it's doing. It's using him.
Oh, that'd be interesting. Like it's so smart.
It's giving him
Yeah.
all these options of what Ethan could do, but really, it's pulling the strings on Gabriel. That's what I'm thinking.
The thing is, though, why is the AI singling out Ethan? Like why? To the AI, all he is just a really good operative.
Maybe. Well,
in the
maybe.
IMF. Like, you know what I mean?
Maybe it
He's
sees
like,
him as a threat somehow. I don't know.
Well,
Maybe
he
its
is.
actual plan. Maybe its actual plan is going to be revealed in 2, obviously. So maybe it knows Ethan.
they gotta do some sort of connecting emotional tissue too. Gabriel's got to be involved. Ethan's got to be involved to connect it to Gabriel, so I can see that. But it's like, you know what I mean? Like, why would the AI want Ethan, or no, White Widow, to kill one of 2 girls that Ethan cares about specifically?
Yeah.
That just feels weird. So there's got to be
Push
like
him in
an
a certain
explanation
direction, maybe.
to back off.
It's playing a chess match with itself on what Ethan's going to do, I think. Like, it has all these options that it thinks Ethan's going to make, or actually it knows Ethan's going to make. So
I trust these filmmakers a little more and these writers a little more
McQuarrie,
than,
for sure.
than other people.
Yeah.
But still, like that's kind of a hard plot line if they, like I'm not 100% sure if they caught that,
All right, so the chase scene ends with like Tom Cruise. Oh, yeah, really cool thing. Benji is talking to Tom Cruise in his ear, and the AI takes over in Benji's voice.
Yeah, so
Telling you
Ethan,
to
that's
go-
not me.
Oh, go right,
Go right,
left.
yeah.
And it can't hear other Benji, of course. So like, Benji had to like smash his computer and everything, and it was a really intense scene.
I love that.
Loved that.
Yeah.
Like this and the airport scene are the two best scenes in this movie.
I think it's the AI is smart enough because like at first my like where I would go to logically is like if I'm the AI I would want to always mess with their technology and make it so they can't use the technology. But then but then that just means like they know one thing for sure is that they can't use the technology. But if it's kind of intermittent and like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, you don't know for sure if the AI is messing with it or not. So I like that bit, like, because originally I thought, I'm like, that doesn't make any logical sense, but then it does. So
Yeah.
it's maybe they weren't thinking about that, but I thought that was a cool idea.
So it leads to Gabriel and Ilsa fighting on one of the little bridges over there, and well,
Yeah.
she did.
Yeah, Grace ends up having a fight real quick, and then Ilsa's like, oh fuck! I didn't say my favorite. Like, I got like such a grin on my face when at the end of the end of the Venice stuff. Ethan's just like, oh, I lost Grace after she locks him to a to the steering wheel and on the train and stuff. And then he's like, oh fuck, I'm fucked. And then Benji's like, Ethan, we're here. Get in the van. And then it's just a silent kind of thing where Ethan's looking at Benji, he smiles back. He's looking at Luther, he smiles back, and then it pans over to Ilsa, and she's just like, sorry, I know you told me to stay dead, but I'm not dead. I'm helping out whether you like it or not. And he's just like, all right, I love that. I just love, and also there's like, I don't see this
good
enough.
character moments.
Yes, exactly.
Like I was talking about earlier. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't see this enough, but it's like the visual acting. There's no dialogue being spoken. They do this again, I think, later with him and Grace, where it's just like they give kind of like a knowing look, where it's just like, and she's, or no, when she's like about to jump in the train scene, she's like,
Okay, you're getting ahead of yourself again.
yeah,
Hey, calm down. So Ilsa dies on the bridge, and then there's this like it's a little lull for a second.
right. And so it's like, well, you don't really have an emotional connection to Ilsa.
No.
I sort of do because I've seen the two movies.
Yeah.
I didn't exactly feel her loss like I wanted to. And I think it was because she's not really in this movie. She has 2 full movies of character
Kinda
development.
disappears for a while in this one. She's there in the beginning and then gone for an hour. So I mean,
If this story wasn't so massive where they have to break it up into 2,
the scale is huge on this story. So I mean, like,
yeah. So like this would be a cool, like, if she was part of the movie and then, or part of like the whole movie leading up to the end, and then she dies at like the climax or like the last thing, that would make it feel better.
yeah.
But it's like this one, she's just like, she's there for like 3 scenes, she's dead. And she has kind of a lackluster fight. Didn't really like that. So that's honestly probably my biggest criticism of the movie, because it's a main character. Yeah.
Yeah, but now they're all kind of hiding out for a little bit, and Grace gets the choice to become a Mission Impossible agent, whatever it is.
MIF.
MIF.
Impossible Mission Force.
I am.
It's a dumb name, but yeah.
That Kittredge could help her out, basically, and she'll just have to say that Ethan told her this or whatever. Yeah, whatever. The whole thing.
Yeah.
The whole spiel. I don't really care.
You're such not a fan of this.
I'm not. No, this movie, I am a fan of this
No,
movie.
the franchise.
Just the franchise, I'm not. But, so now, that leads to them finding out that there's a deal going on a train in the Swiss Alps, I want to say it is.
Something like that. It's on a train.
All right, somewhere in Europe, on a train with mountains around it. I'm going to say
There's the
it's
Orient Express, because I'm like, murder on the Orient
Oh,
Express.
yeah. Oh, yeah, it is on the Orient Express. So the plan is for Grace to use a face mask covering to look like the White Widow and make the deal.
Oh no, the mask breaks. The mask.
The mask gear breaks for Ethan's character because he was supposed to be the bodyguard.
Oh yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Huh.
So it broke then.
Oh well.
So it was all on Grace, and she's just like, I can't do this. I can't fucking do this.
Which again is another callback to Ghost Protocol when the mask machine broke when they were supposed to do this really high risk
Yep.
interrogation.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so she gets on the train, and Tom Cruise is riding through the mountains trying to find a way to jump on the train. Gabriel the AI must have thought of this, so it tells Gabriel to make the train go full throttle, and therefore screwing up Tom Cruise's jump or Ethan's jump onto the train.
Yep.
The one thing I know, well, here's one thing I found actually. Vanessa Kirby has blue eyes.
Yeah, so they put
Grace
contacts
has
on her.
brown eyes.
They put brown contacts on Vanessa Kirby in the movie. That's how you can tell them apart.
Oh yeah. But like, no one notices. Not even her brother is on the train with her. How does she not notice that it's not blue eyes? That it's a little bit of the thing. It's like, come on.
Well, I don't know. I don't know like the color of my mom's eyes. You know?
What?
Do you know the color of your brother's eyes?
Yeah.
Weirdo.
It's my brother.
I don't know that shit. I don't even really know the color of Sep's eyes. Maybe green.
She's gonna be so mad.
Yeah.
She's gonna be real mad at you, man.
The logo of this movie, it looks like it's like a hazel eye. Now I'm thinking about it. Holy shit.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
Like the title card at the end of the first trailer, because I just saw it the other day.
I didn't think about that.
Such a fucking nerd. Anyway,
You're a fucking nerd. All right, so now let's get to the big stunt that everyone was talking about.
No, before I want.
Oh, you want to go before that? Okay.
Because there's a whole 20 minutes where Ethan's not even really part of it, and I thought that was fucking genius. You have the main star, and you're letting all these supporting characters be as strong as they can be by putting them in a really tight situation and scene. So you got Haley Atwell, who's fucking brand new to this movie, coming in, pretending to be this arms dealer, talking to Kittredge, this is him coming back from the first one, and they have a very intense scene where you feel for her because she's like, I was just a pickpocket last week. Now
And she changed the bank account to her bank account, which is hilarious.
Yeah, so it's like now there's a paper trail for her. But then she decides not to accept it, and then there's also the back end scene of Gabriel talking to Carrie Elways.
Yeah.
Where he's like, you're the only one who knows where it's located, in the submarine and the key, or where the AI thing, the original source code is. He's like, yeah. Kills him. Then you have the thing with Benji and Ethan. There's back, and that's super background of this whole 20 minutes, and I just fucking love that. It's like you don't see it. It's like these you think that these movies really rely on Tom Cruise, but no, everybody else is elevated as well.
Yeah, especially this movie. And if that's the direction they're willing to go, I'm with it.
Yeah, they're making it more of a team franchise. I know it's always been like that, but you used to just go for Ethan or Tom Cruise, basically. What's the next crazy stunt he's going to do?
Maybe Ving Rhames, but
yeah. But is that the thing? He's barely in this one too.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and I really like Benji's more part of it too. I really liked Ilsa though.
You liked her in the last. You didn't really get a chance to like her in this one.
Yeah, I just know what she can do, and I know how fun she can be. So I'm glad that we gained Grace. She's great, but I'm a little upset we lost
Saving
Ilsa.
Grace. Okay, back to the stunt.
big stunt.
The big stunt. That was literally just a ramp. He literally just went off a ramp, but it looked pretty good. It looked like he went up the hill. It was nicely done. I think he actually jumped off that 6 times.
Oh
He
shit!
did that stunt 6 times.
Oh, I thought it was just a one-time. Okay, cool.
No, he did this stunt 6 times.
But you can really tell, again, he did this for real, because when he's even in the actual movie, the one shot that they really got is his face is flapping and stuff, and he's having a hard time delivering the lines. He's like, I'm trying,
They could have just done it in one of those containers too, where they decided to actually do it.
Well, no, that's not Tom Cruise's style. That's what he does.
They could have done it that way. It wouldn't have been the same, but
So you know all the basic big action scenes that he's done in all of these movies, right? So out of all of them, where does this one rank? Or what's your ranking for all of them?
I don't know. The plane one is still probably the best one.
Okay.
I don't know all of them. I know mainly the plane one, this one, and the one in Ghost Protocol.
Ghost Protocol is the one where he's climbing the building.
Yeah.
5 is the Rogue Nation is the plane. 6 is the well. There's actually a few. There's the helicopter thing at the end
Yeah,
where he's climbing up
I
the
didn't see
helicopter.
Fallout, so
And then there's another one where he's skydiving, and then the cameraman is skydiving with him, which is sort of similar to what they did here. 2, I think the craziest thing is he's just free climbing a rock wall, or and then 3, yeah, it was just him. I think it was him just kind of getting knocked back into a car. There's a really cool shot where but also the physics don't really work.
no.
Because he's running. So I'll try to at your perspective. So he's running towards the camera, and then a car's here, and then a rocket comes from over here, hitting another car in the background, and then it hits he gets knocked in. He gets knocked in the opposite way,
Okay.
like where the thing blows up and he goes towards it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm like. Eh. Well, anyway.
Well, this one I think is
Oh, and then the first one, obviously, with the
that was just classic, but that one's not a great one. This is probably my second favorite stunt.
yeah. I think the most dangerous was probably Burj Khalifa, the building one. I don't
know. The plane was pretty friggin' dangerous.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because he's alone up there.
He's on wires for sure, but it's just
Yeah.
all right. Anyway, so
Still really cool.
The scene was really cool. Anyway, so let's kind of skip through the end of this movie. It's just action, fighting on top of the train. Woo. And
But you're missing the whole the thing. The reason
part?
the reason that this particular fight on the train is so much better compared to the indie scene.
okay.
They're not really worried about. So they're worried about the tunnel.
Okay.
Right? They have to kind of duck on the tunnel. That's the thing. But in this one, I didn't realize that they have little obstructions covering the train under the tunnel, or the lights. So they're dodging underneath the tunnel as well. That's another layer.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, there's lights right above it. So if they're in the middle of the train, they're gonna get crushed by the lights. So they have to keep rolling back and
I
forth.
didn't see that. Okay.
And there's little bars. So you got the train coming through. There's little things on both sides of the train that cover it. So they gotta kind of hop over it, or roll out of the way of that. All while Gabriel's got these 2 knives and he's slashing while he's crawling towards them. I thought that was just so cool. And then Ethan falls off the edge and he's right next. They're just looking for ways to make it more innovative than your average fight scene on the train.
Okay, yeah. I'm not gonna knock all the stunt work that went into this movie. It's great. you don't have to sell me on that. It's great.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's more than just a fight scene.
Yes, there's more depth to it. Then there's the whole thing. Oh, the bridge blows up. Oh, so they gotta stop the train. That's on a runaway train.
Mm-hmm. And again, I thought this scene was just gonna be your average
Oh, what's his face?
fanfare.
Before that, Gabriel ends up just like diving off into a truck
'Cause he
at the right
times it
time. He times it
perfectly.
perfectly because AI. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, back
So
to
but it's like at the same time AI must have like deduced that he's going to speed up the train because that's going to change your velocity, obviously. And when you jump, you're still going this way. So you got to like, if the truck's here, the train's coming this way, you got to jump like here. So you jump this way, and then but you're still going this way. So you got to land in the truck.
math.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I don't know. Really cool how they did that.
Very, very.
I assume the AI thought of everything.
Yes, it did, but obviously not enough for Gabriel to get the key. So Ethan gets the key, and the train ends up. They're running through train cars trying to get back up onto the surface. Oh, by the way, Gabriel knew Paris was going to betray him, so she stabbed him.
But I like that though, because it's like he's smart enough. He's not just going to be betrayed, or that's not. He's not even going to let the impetus happen. He's just going to fucking take care of it.
Yep.
I love that.
And I feel like she's going to come back at some point. Maybe not in Dead Reckoning Part 2, but maybe the next one after that.
Yeah.
So
which I'll talk to you later about, or at the end of the podcast, about where this franchise is going to go, because he's not done after Part 2.
we know. He says that. But, okay, so, yeah, there's this one scene where they're just hanging, and then there's a random piano above them. I'm just like, no fucking way. Come on, man. Why is there a fucking piano?
It's the entertainment car. What do you want?
I'm not saying it's bad. I was saying, like, come on, man.
Oh, yeah, it's just another thing. Yeah, no, I totally get it.
A fucking piano. But yeah, so they get the key, they save Paris, and then it kind of just ends with like look under the water, the sub just hanging out just in the Arctic somewhere.
Right, because that they find out that's where they need it, because like, you know, her last breaths are like, it's in the ocean, it's a submarine.
Except,
You know?
except
But she's in French. I don't.
yeah, whatever.
I can't believe you skipped over the fucking train car scene. I love that.
We talked about it.
There's a lot of beats in there. Okay, first of all, they made it realistic with the train or like the engine falling off. They blow up the bridge.
Yeah, I said that.
But like, it's just the slow motion of the train stopping, and also every train car, like they're flipping up like each car and stuff, and they got to do like this obstacle course thing, and they're all going through. And Tom Cruise is helping out Grace because she's trying to figure this shit out too, and she's like, you know, I think she's wearing heels too in the movie, in this whole action scene.
Maybe.
So, but then you get like the kitchen car where like the oil is falling out of the air or the fryer, and
that was
lights
wild.
on and it
that was
blows
some
up.
Wild stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So that it blows up in back of
Yeah,
them.
they went through a bunch of cars.
No, but then it's like, and then the piano thing. I was like, you need to let go. Like you need to, or it's like, you need to jump. You need to jump. She's like, jump. And she's like, yeah, I know. It's so like, you know, it's like that's how people would react.
Yeah.
If you know. I just love that. And then they also do this really cool editing trick where it's like, Palm helps them out like right at the last minute, like kind of a little bit of a Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah.
Catches him, and then she's like, I can't hold you any longer. And there's a close up on Ethan's hand. And then it just cuts to the train car falling. And I'm like, oh shit. But then they're fine.
Yeah.
But I liked it because as the train's falling, it reveals them. So it's like 2 in 1. I just like that. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say.
It's typical, yeah.
Another great bits of like
Oh no, it's great.
innovative action. Because this could have been so cookie cutter, but it wasn't. Stunts. Need it. Nominations.
We haven't said enough about the stunts in the last 2 months or 4 months.
Lots of good stunt movies.
There's a lot of good stunt work out there. It doesn't get recognized enough. So, Dead Reckoning Part 2.
Right.
Where do you think this is going?
I think, well, obviously an Endgame.
I've already talked about where I think it's going. So,
wait, what'd you say again?
The AI and how it's kind of using Gabriel to its advantage, and it's gonna like screw him over somehow, and then it's gonna.
Yeah. See, the thing is though, they got it. It would be hard to make the AI a character.
I think somebody else is probably pulling the strings behind it. I don't think it's just Gabriel. We just haven't met this person yet.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's somebody close to Ethan still. We don't know.
Well, I think a smart thing to do if that was the case, they would introduce that somebody in this movie.
Maybe it is somebody in this movie.
Who could it be?
I don't know.
I don't think it's the White Widow. I don't think it's.
Well, fuck it.
I really like a curveball they could do is Haley Atwell, but I don't think they do that.
No, she's not smart enough for that.
Or maybe she's just so good at playing dumb.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a stretch either way.
Watch
but
me, Ilsa.
bro.
She's not dead,
Bro, no.
Or Henry Cavill comes back from the dead.
Bro. Wasn't he just like a henchman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he was John Lark. That was the whole thing. But the one thing I remember that movie is just
Mustache Gate. Oh, you mean loading his fists?
yeah, he loads his fist, and then Koenig pointed this out on the talk show. He's like, you pumped your arm so hard that you grew a beard. Like if you go back watch the trailer, it fucking like it's like clean shaven, but he's got the mustache, and then he does this, and a 5 o'clock shadow just appears on his face. It's fucking awesome, dude. Fuck, man. I mean, I loved Henry Cavill. I just wish he could stick around for the other movies. But he get the way he dies is like he gets like a fucking industrial hook into his forehead. He's fucking dead.
Oh, yeah, he did. He did. Unless his brain got into the AI.
I don't know.
That's a little too sci-fi. Anyway, well, we'll see where
This
it goes.
isn't Indiana Jones.
We'll see where it goes whenever it releases because, actor strike and writer strike right now.
Yep.
Nothing's on IMDb right now. Nothing is scheduled past September to come out. So Good thing we have all the backlog of movies that
Yeah, we have a whole
backlog
Excel
that we need to
sheet
do.
of,
Maybe we should not do the franchise thing. We're going to be doing it for some of these, but
Yeah.
we'll see. It's going to be rough. But Dead Reckoning Part 1. What do you give it?
I'm going to give it a 93.
Jesus Christ.
I really love this movie.
Christ.
Fallout for me, I think, is a 96. So that's still my favorite. I think it's tighter. But this one, I can't believe we're 7 movies into a franchise and like there's the baseline is 90. Like how is how is that possible?
Yeah, you sent this thing in the group chat to me, you and Chris the other
It's just
day.
they don't miss. Like even Mission Impossible 2, which is like, kind of considered the worst one.
Not bad.
It's not terrible. Like it's at least an 80, right? So it's still a decent watch, So I love this movie, man. 93.
I'm way more critical than you. It's not going to get like in the 70s or anything. Don't worry. It's not that bad of a movie.
Low 80s.
Yeah, it's an 83. I'm giving it an 83. It's a very good movie. It's got a lot of plot holes that I hope maybe it'll change when part 2 comes out. But for now, right now, the way it is, there's a lot of things that don't make sense to me. But still, the stunts, you can't compete with that shit right now. The stunts and the character development in this movie and the suspense in parts, really well done.
Yeah.
And that's why it gets an 83 from me. Yeah, well, that's where I think that's where we'll leave this. Next week, it's time. Oppenheimer.
Oh yeah, Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer,
Fuck,
baby.
dude. I cannot wait for this movie. I'm really hopeful for it because it's like it's a big budget original story in the midst of the writer's strike and actor strike. It's not an original story. It's based on history.
Biopic.
Yeah. But it's Christopher Nolan, a big budget guy, doing this kind of more intimate story.
Still big budget though.
Yeah. But I think it could really change the tides, especially with Barbie coming out the same day. It could change the tides of what general audiences, or really send a signal to the studios who are in the midst of like creative bankruptcy and now their own workers are fighting against them. Mm-hmm. I think it's a perfect opportunity and perfect time for things to change.
And even 4 days out as of recording from the release of Oppenheimer, there's still no reviews online. We don't know how this movie is even doing. So like it's still being gatekept right now. But like,
another weird thing, I didn't even think about the quality of the movie.
For what?
I didn't even think about like, am I going to like this movie? What am I going to think of it? Like, I think I'm going to like it, but I just genuinely didn't think of like, how am I going to critically look at this movie?
It's going to be a lot to talk about. It's a 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
And I'm doing the whole Barbenheimer thing, so
oh boy, you're in for a treat.
Anyway, so we're Seen It Before. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok with the handle at Seen It Beforecast. That's SCENE It Beforecast. And on Twitter with the handle SIB_pod. I'm Dan.
I'm Danny. You can find me on Instagram at Danny_Was. My letterbox is serialized at DJ Was, or my letterbox at DJ or Danny. Wait. My YouTube channel is Danny Was.
Wow, that's a first.
I messed up in that.
Wow.
Oh, did you know, little tidbit.
Don't make me leave again.
The little tidbit. That is Morse code. I found out from another podcast. I forgot. I wish I could credit them. But that is Morse code for MI. 2 longs, 2 shorts. Like 2 long is M, 2 shorts is I.
Huh.
That's fucking cool.
That's real. I like that.
All right?
Fuck.